The Canon EOS R is old, outdated, and doesn't even have IBIS in the camera. It shoots a cropped 4K and probably isn't what most people would pick to shoot video on. But if you have one of these 30.3 megapixel full frame cameras, it still might be just what you need to create great video without buying a new $3,000 or $4,000 camera. So is it good enough to create videos? To answer that, there's been a lot of YouTubers that have used this specific camera to film their channels with, and for some, it's what got them started on YouTube. So yes, it's good, but how do you get the best quality out of this camera? If your goal is to get the absolute best image quality out of the Canon EOS R for YouTube or cinematic videos, here's the settings that I'd recommend. Even though this camera has its limitations, these settings will give you the best image quality out of an older camera like the EOS R. All right, so let's change some settings. First, we're gonna start with our resolution and frame rate. I like to shoot in 1080. Now, it may seem silly, but this camera shoots full frame in 1080. So I like to use the full frame that you get from using 1080 on this camera. You can set it up to 4K, but you will get a 1.6 or 1.7 crop on this camera in 4K. So if you want to get the maximum detail, you'll want to use 4K from this camera. It's going to give you that crop, but it's going to give you the best quality. So you're going to have to account for cropping in and out. You may need to get a wider angle lens if you want to shoot for like vlogging and stuff like that. Get a 10mm, or this 15 to 35mm works fairly well. If you have a 15mm lens and you put this in that 4K, you're essentially going to get a 24mm lens with the 4K crop on this. If you put a 10mm lens on here, you're gonna get close to that 15-16mm range. So that would be perfect for vlogging and using 4K on this camera. So for the best detail that you can get out of this, best image quality, you're gonna use 4K. If you want to be able to get slow motion on this camera, switch over to 1080, and we want 60 frames per second. That's gonna give us enough room to slow that footage down in editing, and you won't have any crop, and you'll be able to get some great slow motion footage. This camera does do high frame rate, so you can switch over to get 120 frames per second, but it's gonna cut your image quality down. You're only gonna be getting 720p. So I would recommend shooting in 1080, 60 frames per second, and that's gonna give you some great slow motion with this camera. If you don't need 4K, you can shoot in 24 frames per second in 1080. It's gonna give you great quality. It's gonna give you the full frame of this camera. So 15mm is gonna be 15mm wide. You don't need to worry about crop or anything like that. And the quality you get with these Canon lenses is really good. Next is the picture profile. Now I like to switch this. You're gonna have to go over in your settings to your picture style. I wanna switch this to log. Log is gonna give me the option in here to use 8-bit. Now you can use 10-bit if you use an HDMI to monitor, but this camera just by itself is going to be able to get you up to 8-bit. Now log is gonna allow you to color grade. It's gonna give you much more dynamic range. You're gonna get around 12 stops of dynamic range on this EOS R. You're gonna get better highlight retention, more flexibility when you're color grading, and it's gonna give you the most cinematic image when you grade it in editing. Switching over to log, even though it is 8-bit, it's gonna give you more flexibility than if you just leave it in the standard picture profile. Now, the base ISO for the Canon EOS R is 400. So you may notice I've got mine set right here at 400. It's just in a custom mode. All my custom modes are set, so my ISO is set at 400, and it's not gonna change from 400. Now I can bump it up a little bit if I need to, but most times I'll just add in lighting or use ND filters to cut out extra light. Always use a variable ND filter so you can adjust your exposure without having to bump your ISO up or down. And you can also use your aperture to adjust your exposure, but you want to leave your shutter speed set to your 180-degree shutter rule to get you the most cinematic looking or most natural motion blur in your video. But that base ISO in C-Log is designed to deliver your full dynamic range at that setting. Now for white balance, always use the manual white balance instead of auto, because auto is just going to be jumping around. I use the Kelvin over here. We're going to set our color temp. Now most of the time I've got this set at 55 for daylight settings. Then you've got 6500 to 7500 when you're outdoors and it's maybe cloudy. You do have presets in here that they have. You've got your white fluorescent light, your tungsten light, cloudy setting, shade, daylight. Now, if I'm gonna be running around outside, I'll often just switch the shade or the cloudy. And then if I'm gonna be filming indoors, I know that lighting's not gonna change. You can set your Kelvin temperature and it's going to be set. So that just keeps your white balance from adjusting, and the cloudy and shade setting will keep it set when you're in outdoor environments. But you want to use the manual Kelvin setting to keep your footage consistent and not be fluctuating, trying to adjust to different lighting. So if you bring something in front of the lens, it might be trying to adjust that, but when you set it to manual, it's going to keep your white balance the same. Now I did touch on this a little bit earlier, but we do want to keep our 180-degree shutter rule. It's going to give us the most natural motion blur in our image. So if we're shooting at 24 frames per second, we want to use 1/50th for our shutter speed. And if we're shooting at 30 frames or 60 frames, we either want to be at 60 shutter speed or 125 shutter speed. Now, if you do use the slow motion in 720, you'll want to set your shutter speed to 250. That way you keep that natural looking motion blur in your footage. And when you use that 180-degree shutter rule, you'll want to use an ND filter if you're in a brighter situation. And I do use a variable ND filter, and this is going to help me adjust the light. If I step outside, if it's sunny, I can adjust this to whatever the situation is. And this is a variable ND filter, so I don't have to be swapping ND filters out and carry a bunch of ND filters. I can just have one and it will give me a good range. Now, many EOS R users are intentionally going to expose their log footage just slightly brighter, about 2/3 to 1 stop brighter than the meter on the camera shows. While protecting highlights, this is going to reduce visible shadow noise while you can watch your histogram and your zebras rather than relying only on the LCD just to get your exposure. Just adjusting that a little bit is going to help you with some noise in the shadows. So just adjust it slightly brighter. It's going to give you some great footage. Now, if you don't use the log feature, if you're just going to leave it in the standard picture profile, then you'll want to adjust your sharpness down a little bit, maybe 2 settings down. And your contrast, you want to adjust that down slightly, maybe 2 settings down on that. And your saturation, you want to bring down just slightly. This is going to create a much more natural image that will be easier to edit, and it's not going to look too overly sharp and contrasty. So my settings quickly are 4K or 1080 and 24 frames per second. Got my shutter speed at 50. I'm going to shoot in Canon log. My base ISO is 400, so I've got that set. I'm going to use manual white balance as much as possible and use ND filters when I need to adjust for the exposure. For my kit, I use the RF 15 to 35 millimeter here, f2.8, or I've got the 70 to 200 2.8, depending on the shots that I'm getting. You may have some different lenses. They're all great lenses that you can get for these. If you have just the kit lens, it's great for getting started, but I would recommend upgrading to f4 or f2.8 lenses. They're going to give you much better quality in your footage. Then when I bring my log footage into editing, I've got my basic nodes set up. So I have temperature, I have the balance for exposure, and I have some simple color adjustments and my final LUT on the end of that. And I'm gonna convert the log footage to Rec 709 with a LUT, and then just finalize my color grading, and then I have a power grade set, so I can just do this with all my clips, just do some slight tweaking with my log footage, and it looks pretty good. So you can edit that to your own style in your color grade however you want. But that's how you get the best quality out of the EOS R. If you have this camera, let me know down in the comments below. They're great cameras. It's full frame. I still think this is a great camera with that 30.3 megapixel sensor. It still gets great quality. I've seen a lot of photographers that still use the R because of the sensor quality. Something about it, it still looks better than some of the new cameras even, and it's something with that sensor. But this camera can still get great quality footage if you're shooting video. These are the settings I'll use. If you have any more tips, leave them down in the comments. Any questions, let me know down in the comments below. If this video was helpful for you, be sure to smash that thumbs up button and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.